We have Judith on the phone now. She's calling from Tucson. Hi, Judith.
Hi there, Kevin.
Hi.
I was listening to this entire show, and earlier on, you mentioned that some credit card company employees are paid to make sure payments are late via shredding, etc. I've had a number of instances where I've been charged with late fees, and I'm positive I was not late. How do you contest this kind of a situation?
Well, here's the problem. Number one, you're exactly right. And this is why one of the major credit card companies paid $400 million in fines, because they were found to be fraudulently doing this. By the way, it's not stopped. It's still going on today. If you're watching, for example, and you have late fees, I've seen on my credit card statement a late fee. I wasn't late. I see over limit. I was never over the limit. But they throw these fees on there and these service charges. These are scams and ripoffs that the biggest banks and credit card companies are doing, and the U.S. government, the federal government, is allowing it to happen. 30 states filed suits against the credit card companies, the big credit card companies, the banks, the institutions. 30 suits were filed against these big conglomerate banking institutions for ripping off and screwing the American consumer, and primarily low-income people and minorities. And guess what the U.S. government did? They went and backed up the banks. They went to support the banking industry, allowing them to continue to rip off the American consumer. And there's a lot of politics involved in that, and I expose that in the book. How do you correct it? There is a simple way. In the book, I give you the steps. There's actually 3 steps that you need to take. It's very simple, take you less than an hour, that you can then get those fees not to stop happening them in the future, but get them taken off, the interest taken off, all the penalties taken off. In the book, we tell you how to do things like that, and in addition, actually reduce debt. That's a very important point. By the way, thanks very much for calling. If a person has debt right now, they're maxed out. They say, how do I correct this? Debt consolidation loans are not necessarily the answer, and some of them are very, very bad. There's ways to eliminate by making a few phone calls. I give you the phone numbers. There's a few forms you fill out. And here's why. Let's say you have a credit card, and your $1,000 is your limit, and you're at the $1,000, and you can't pay it. Well, that can actually be sold to a debt collector. But before they do it, the federal government allows the bank 6 months to continue to whack every fee they want. Late fees, over limit fees, and usury interest rates. That's what I expose. So that $1,000 in 6 months can become $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. That then is sold at a profit to a debt collector who's got a boiler room of young people that are on commission, calling you, harassing you, and they're trained. They're trained to lie. They're trained to lie to the American citizen about this debt, which is not theirs. You understand? The debt's only $1,000. It's not $5,000. Those are the whacked out fees that the banks put on arbitrarily. And it's not, you don't owe the money. You don't owe the money. And so if you know what to do, you can wipe out your debt because it's not money that you really owe. And that's what I expose in here.
We have just a couple more minutes left. Go through the 3 most important things people will get from your book.
Well, I think, number one, it exposes the industry, and people are going to get mad as hell. I mean, I did it with the pharmaceutical industry. I did it with the weight loss industry in my first 2 books, and now I'm doing it in the banking industry. And again, I've gotten death threats because I'm blowing the whistle on what's going on in the corporate world. And this is how money is made. The profit is insane. They call it, the industry calls the profit in the credit card and the banking industry obscene. If you want to make money in America today, everyone's jumping into the credit card and banking and finance lending industry. Consumer lending profit is obscene, and it should be illegal. It's obscene, and they're targeting low-income people, minorities, but every single person is paying too much, and they don't have to. So I tell people how to reduce their payments in half virtually overnight. I tell people how to reduce their debt or eliminate their debt legally without bankruptcy. I tell them how to get $10,000 in cash in 24 hours, and you never have to repay it. I tell them how to raise $20,000, $30,000 to pay off bills or start a business. Free money, from the government and other programs that you never have to repay. How to stop bill collectors dead cold. You'll never have to go to a payday loan place again or go to a pawn shop. You'll never pay a late fee again. You'll never get charged with crazy interest rates. If a person doesn't have a credit card, I tell them in here, a whole host of places with one phone call, they'll have a credit card with a line of up to $500 or even $5,000 without all these crazy fees in virtually a week. So if a person has no credit or bad credit, they can get a credit card. I tell you how in the CD, how to get $1 million in credit, up to $1 million in credit to run and finance a business, and how to use credit appropriately. Again, if you're watching, this is the book, Debt Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. Just $29.95. Folks, if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, if you're maxed out, if you're struggling to pay your bills, if you're just frustrated every day when you wake up and you think, I just can't make my payments, you're at your wit's end, what are you going to do? If you don't have a credit card right now, if your credit is terrible, if you don't know if the bill collectors are calling, if you want to improve your credit, fix your credit, get a super credit score, lower interest payments, lower all of your payments, and eliminate or lower your debt, call the number on the screen, just $29.95. We'll throw in $60 worth of free bonuses, the 25 Secrets to Wealth Creation CD, and the simple 10-minute guide to instant credit improvement. And then make sure you ask your operator about my monthly Debt Cures newsletter so you get the most updated information. And that's really important because a lot of these programs, as I mentioned, Misha, come out and they're only for the first 30 days or as soon as all the people that are first in line, they get the free money. And there are free money programs that come out on a regular basis, and people don't know about them. But if they're first in line, all they have to do virtually is make a phone call, give them their name. And people don't understand that.
It's incredible.
But it's real. And it's happening today. It's happening to people, and it can happen to you. But you need to get the information and learn about how it really, really works.
I think, go over really quickly again, getting free money from the government, because I think people will be shocked.
The government gives away billions of dollars in free money in the form of grants, not loans, but grants. A grant is basically free money. They can give you $50,000 to start an ice cream shop. They can give you $30,000 to pay off your bills. They can give you $50,000 to repair your house. They can give you $150,000 to travel the world. People think, what? Yeah, this is real money. So if a person can't pay their bills, the government will help pay your bills. They did it with Chrysler. Remember they bailed out Chrysler Corporation? You know, Chrysler was going to go bankrupt. They went to the U.S. government. These programs are available to everybody. So if you're watching, get on the phone and get Debt Cures. It could be the answer you're looking for.
I don't want to cut you off, but we're out of time. Thank you so much for sharing this great information. I know your 15 million viewers will be fascinated to read your new book.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. I want to urge everyone watching today to pick up the phone and call and get a copy of Kevin's new book, Debt Cures They Don't Want You to Know About. It really can change your life. We'll see you next time.
Pick up the phone and call the number on your screen to order Debt Cures They Don't Want You to Know About by Kevin Trudeau, the New York Times best-selling author and consumer advocate. Discover information and tips that the mortgage companies, banks, and credit card companies don't want you to know about. Find out how to reduce or eliminate your debt altogether and get tips to help you build wealth. Remember, this offer is only available through this special television promotion. You'll also receive Kevin's Guide to Instant Credit Improvement and his incredible CD, 25 Secrets to Wealth Creation. That's a $60 value, free. If Debt Cures doesn't immediately help you get out of debt and increase your wealth, return it within 30 days and keep the Credit Improvement Guide and the Wealth Creation CD just for trying the book. This is a very limited time offer. Call now.